you are not training hard enough. If you want to jump higher, you have to get after it. My name is Isaiah Rivera. If you don't know, I have a 50-inch vertical. One of the biggest things I see when our athletes visit us here in Florida and they go do a weight room session is they don't train hard. And I even see this with my friends. I'll go train with them and they're pushing harder than they ever have when we do a weight room session. And in my head, I'm like, this is how I train when I'm by myself. Why aren't you training like this normally? And it's literally like most athletes are like that. They don't train hard enough in the weight room. When they jump, they're not jumping as hard as they can. They're not trying new dunks. And it pisses me off because these are the same type of athletes that will complain about their progress being stuck. That's the first thing I tell athletes when they've been doing our training and they haven't made any progress is how hard are you training? What are your maxes? And what RPE are you doing your sets at? What percentages are you hitting on your sets? Because if you do the training at the percentages given and it's actually your true max, like you're working off of your true max, you're going to improve. The reason workouts need to be hard and they have to continue getting harder is because the whole point of training is to induce adaptation. And the way you induce adaptation is through progressive overload. The story of Milo and the bull, right? You carry a bull up a mountain every day. As the bull gets bigger, you get stronger. But weights don't get bigger by themselves, right? You have to put more weight on the bar and push yourself and push yourself and push yourself. And this is what induces the adaptation. And when you jump is 100%, 100%, 100%. Every single jump, every single rep. Not even 100%, you gotta have to go 110%. And this is tough. It's tough right here. You need a very powerful mind to be able to go 100% day in and day out, rep after rep after rep after rep. Here's the thing, is when you push 100%, when intensities are that high, the injury risk goes through the roof. It goes super high. So now, not only do you need the mental resilience to be able to go that hard over and over and over again, is you have to have the intelligence and discipline to know when to push and when to back off. When are you pushing an injury? When are you not gonna be pushing an injury? And the way I go about this is I ask myself, is what I'm about to do gonna make me feel better or worse tomorrow in terms of injuries? If the answer is better or even the same, then hell yeah, push. And a more advanced level of this is, am I going to be able to bounce back by the next workout? So the next workout might be in 2 days. Can I bounce back for that? In a session, am I gonna feel better or worse by the session next week, right? Can I bounce back within the 7-day time frame in terms of jumping, right? For lifting, it's more so the back, right? We load up the spine a lot with barbell movements, is knowing the limits, what your back can and can't handle, what ranges of motion can it handle or not. So if you learn to push hard and then you learn to listen to your body in terms of injuries, you will become dangerous. Now, going hard is a habit like anything else. You get better at pushing as hard as you can the more you do it. And I do think it's a skill. Some people are naturally better at it than others, but you can improve at the skill of going as hard as you can and pushing your body to your limits. I believe it's the Navy SEALs, they have this saying, when you feel like you're at 100% of your effort level, you're actually at like 10% or something like that. And that is very true. And the more you continually push those limits, the more you start to learn what your actual limits are and how hard you can actually go. And what's crazy is after a while, you actually start to enjoy the suffering. And you start to get this little dopamine hit from pushing yourself to a limit you've never had before and surviving. Like, that's the best way I can describe it. It just feels like you survived the workout. You get excited to get in and do it all over again. I think a lot about like David Goggins and his story. If you don't know who he is, I would read his book, Can't Hurt Me. But he was somebody that learned to go hard. He turned his life around. I agree with him in that you have to do hard things every single day. Like, take jump training aside. Take the goal of jumping higher out the window or whatever it is, whatever exterior motive that you have. One of the big reasons I keep jump training, even though I've achieved what I've achieved, and there's really no reason I could stop dunking right now and I would have built a legacy in terms of the dunk world. The reason I have fallen in love with training is because it is a outlet for me to do something freaking hard every day. And I think that's so important for mental health, for building character. Think about a video game, right? If you wanted to build the most badass character who has courage, discipline, who is tough, who's a warrior, what would you make him go through to be that character? Would you give him an easy life? No, right? If you want to build somebody with patience, you have to put them in situations where their patience is tested a lot over and over again. I think a lot about having a daughter, right? Having a kid for the first time. And it's somebody that you have to take care of, right? It's your kid. You can't just let them, you can't not feed them, not help them put to sleep. You have to protect them. And it rewires your brain. It teaches you to be patient, right? When they cry, it teaches you to be able to keep your emotions under control and not get angry at them and that type of thing. So that's how you build patience. If you build toughness, you got to put the person through situations where the toughness is going to be tested, right? They might get beat up. If you're going to build the perfect fighter, you got to have him get beat up a lot, over and over and over again. And when they can defeat their opponent, now you're gonna give them a tougher opponent that can beat them up over and over and over again until they can beat them. And you repeat the process and you keep going. And to maintain it, just to maintain that level of resilience and toughness, you have to subject that person to even tougher obstacles over time. And that's how training is. As you become a better athlete, the workouts have to get harder. Hopefully that is a little bit of motivation on why you should push yourself. And a huge percentage of athletes that cancel with us at THP cancel because the workouts were harder than they thought. You know what I mean? You have to go to the gym every day and put in the work. It's not a secret formula that we have. It's hard-ass training. It's the right training, but it's hard-ass training. And the reason we get better results than everybody is because the training is harder than everybody else's. And we know how to do it in a way where guys won't get hurt if they listen. Yeah, the training is freaking hard, but don't be scared. It's a skill. You get used to it. Eventually, you get to the point where you're used to working out hard. If you only do it for a month or two, you're not gonna adapt to it. But eventually, you become really good at just pushing your body to its limits, and people are gonna look at you like you're a freaking superhero because you can get through that type of training. So hopefully that's a little bit of a motivation to go hard. It's also, motivation aside, you have to keep progressing. You have to keep pushing your body to its limits. And as long as you can do that without getting hurt, which is another skill in of itself, the possibilities are endless. So having said that, catch you guys in the next video. Please like the video. And if you want to get coached by me, go to THPstrength.com. Use the code THP for 10% off your first month. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.